Well, hello there. Welcome to our virtual back to school night. I am going to go over some of these slides with you very quickly since we didn't get to meet in person and I'm new to Oakdale. I wanted to be sure that I gave you all of the information that I was going to give you on Tuesday night. And so a screencast like this is the perfect way to do that. So let's get started. This first slide is just a little bit about me. So in this top picture on, oops, didn't mean to do that. In this top picture on the right, that is my family. We're just missing my dad. The girl in the middle is my older sister, Lauren. She just got married in May, and her husband moved off to New Orleans, so we miss them dearly. The other one is my little sister, Rebecca, and she actually moved in with me this year, so we are getting some great sibling bonding this year. And that's my mom. My mom and dad are small business owners in Edmond. I was born and raised, grew up in Edmond. I graduated from OCS in 2010, so Oakdale feels pretty similar to OCS in the small feel and the the community aspect. So I'm really enjoying that. In this bottom picture on the right, that is a picture of my gym. I am actually a strength training coach at Empower House Gym. I worked really hard this summer and finally passed my certification as a personal trainer. So that's just something I like to do on the side. On top of that, I also am finishing up my master's degree at OU this year. I will hopefully graduate in May of 2020 with my degree in instructional psychology and technology, which really just means a lot of educational technology and psychology, and it's a ton of things. It's been really fun to learn all about it. That middle picture, that is my boyfriend Tanner. We've been dating for about a year now, so I had to include him in the picture in the slide. And the other picture, that's just another one of my interests. I love to exercise, running, biking, and that's a picture of my family and I. We did a big bike ride in Colorado called Ride the Rockies, where we rode 450 miles in about 6 days. So we were really tired. I think that was day one, so we're still smiling. But beyond that, I also really love to read. So that's just a little bit about me. I think if I could read every day, all the time, I totally would. But currently, I'm just reading a lot of things for school. So, all of that about me. And let's move on. So, this slide is all about communication. Hopefully, you have seen the bee binder in your child's backpack. It stands for Bring Everything Every Day. Lots of stuff in there. You've seen a lot of it. I'll put pretty much all the communication between you or I, besides emails and other things like that, in there. It's where you get their graded papers, any notes from the school, any notes from me. We'll put Scholastic Book Club flyers in there. My goal is to one day get some informational items like websites you can use or apps you can do, different things like that. We're just not there yet. So hopefully sometime this year we'll get that in there. One thing to note is that I'm really big about teaching responsibility to these kids. So it is their responsibility to remember to bring it home, to remember to bring it to school, to write their homework in it. We're really working on getting them responsible for that. So help them develop that habit of cleaning it out and making sure things are coming in and out of it and getting it in a special place. And then please sign the agenda so that I know I might write notes in there. So we'll just keep that as a open communication lines. Hopefully you've noticed I've been sending out a weekly newsletter. I call it the Monday Memo, and I try to post it on Sunday or Monday, and I will try to be diligent about putting it on Seesaw as well so you can see it in both places. I hope you all have gotten to use Seesaw. I hope you're starting to love it. Hopefully soon we will get to really use it as a class, and we'll get to more on that later. I have my email on the bottom of this slide, and on a paper coming home tomorrow, my cell phone number is on there as well. Just a quick note on my cell phone number, if you are texting or calling, that's totally great. I just ask that you be aware and mindful that when we're like at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, I want to be really diligent on being with my family and being with my friends. So if I don't respond right away, I will definitely get back to you when we're at school the next day. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. This is arrival and dismissal. I think everybody in our class has been at Oakdale before, so you guys are probably good with this, but wanted to make sure I put it on here. Please let me know if your child's going to go home a different way. That just makes sure that I know they're going the right place. You can text that to me, you can send them a note, however you want to do it, but just make sure that if they're going to go home a different way, just let me know so that we know they're getting to the right spot. Last thing I want is for them to get somewhere to go home the wrong way and go home to an empty house or not get picked up or anything like that. So just make sure you let me know. Food, same thing, you guys probably know all this. Our recess is from 11 to 11:20 and our lunch is from 11:25 to 11:55. We also I've already touched on this, but snacks, I do allow them to bring a snack every day. In the past, I have done snack at a certain time in the day, and I have found over the years that if I just let them have their snack whenever they're hungry for it, then that actually works a lot better. It's not a distraction. We're not having a problem. So that's my rule with them. They can eat it throughout the day, but if it becomes a distraction or they're playing with their friends or something, they don't get their snack anymore. So we would just want healthy snacks, something they can open, something that's not disruptive, but just something if they would like to have one. Water bottles. They can totally bring one. I don't mind. But I just want to make sure that, one, it's not spilling, and two, it's not a distraction. We haven't had any issues with that so far, so we're just keeping that in mind. No spilling, no distractions. Academics. This is important. Students are graded based on tests and quizzes, daily work, and projects, and what I'm mainly looking for is evidence that they are mastering the skills covered in our second grade Oklahoma academic standards. That is what is super important to me, is that they are mastering them and they are making progress towards mastering them. I will put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 often on their papers when I'm grading them. I'll also put smiley faces. Sometimes I'll put checks. If you ever see a check, that is a sign that, okay, they're not quite there, they're progressing on it, they need some extra help. Another thing I really like to do is I like to have kids think about how they're doing, what they think. So I will often have them put a 1, 2, or 3 on their paper so that they're thinking, how am I doing? Do I have it down? Do I need some extra help? Or am I really struggling and I really need Miss Camp's help? So we do that a lot in class. I'll have them put a 1 if they're really struggling, a 2 if they're almost there, they just need some more practice, and a 3 if they think they've got it. That's just one way to keep them engaged in the process of, am I learning? Am I getting it? And then on homework, we really just want them practicing their spelling words and their math fact fluency at home, and reading. Definitely want them reading. Reading is a big, big deal. So we want them to read a minimum of 100 minutes per week, but really we want to instill a love of reading in them. So that's the big part of our homework. And also, sometimes I like to tell them to go play outside, because playing outside is good for them as well. So I like to do different things like that. Here is our behavior page. We do a program called Great Expectations. You've probably heard of it before. I like to follow the 8 expectations for living. We use life principles like integrity and effort and humility, and we talk about a lot of those. And then we talk about the expectations. So those are things like we'll cheer each other to success. We will not laugh at or make fun of another person, and just a lot of things like that. On the very first day of school, we actually came up with these classroom rules together. I had them all think about what they thought we needed to do in our classroom, and we came up with these and we signed them, and this is our pledge to each other. And then on the teacher side, I believe in positive reinforcement, and I want to give them verbal praise. I want them to be responsible for their actions and for what they're doing. I like to use natural consequences for if they make mistakes or they're doing the wrong thing. So the best example I can give you of that is something like they tied their shoes together. This used to happen to me in kindergarten all the time. They tied their shoes together when they know they're not supposed to tie their shoes together. So they would say, will you untie my shoes? And I would say, oh, well, you tied your shoes together. That seems like a really silly thing. And so obviously at some point I would talk to them about it and help them untie it. But natural consequences, logical consequences, those are important in our class. And other things that I also do is sometimes I might have them sit out from the group for a little bit. A lot of times I'll have them reflect on their choices and think about what could they have done better and what were they doing that they weren't supposed to do. So those are a lot of things I'll do in one-on-one conferences, and sometimes I will call the parents. If there's a behavior issue that is repeatedly happening, I will definitely let you know. I will be in contact with you. So please let me know if you have any questions on that, or if you just want to chat with me about it, I'm definitely open to talking about my policies and my procedures. This is a bunch of information, just some things for you to know. I won't actually read all of it because I trust that you can read over it. We will use technology daily soon. We are anxiously awaiting our iPads to be ready. We're waiting on some apps to be downloaded. I love to use iPads in creative ways, in ways that let them create things and think critically about what they're learning and to do things that's more than just paper. I always want to think of different ways that we can be doing things that gets them up and gets them active and involved in the learning rather than just constantly always doing worksheets or practice with pencil paper. Nothing wrong with pencil paper. We definitely do that as well. But I really want to incorporate a lot of active learning and a lot of sometimes play into it as well. Okay, our slide about Seesaw. I think most everyone has connected to Seesaw. If you have not connected to Seesaw, I can send you our code again, but Seesaw is a digital portfolio, and soon, when our iPads are finally ready, we will use them. They will upload their work to Seesaw. I will upload more pictures. There'll be all kinds of things that they put on there, but we will learn all about uploading our wow work. So work that we think is amazing, work we really want our parents to see, work we want to keep track of. And it's a really great tool. I love to watch them take ownership of their work, and they get so excited about something they did that's great, and they want to share it, and they want you and other people to see it. And it's just the coolest thing to see. I will also sometimes send announcements that way, and I will send different reminders. Like if it's pizza day, sometimes I'll send a little reminder in the morning. Don't forget it's pizza day. It's really quick, really easy. You can also message me on Seesaw. So hopefully you are getting familiar with that, and then we will start using it very, very soon, I hope. This is our Amazon wish list. You certainly do not have to donate anything to it, but if you are so inclined or you are like, I want to donate to the classroom, this is the spot for it. I've just compiled a bunch of things that will help our learning and make it more meaningful and make it more fun. So you can check that out and see if there's anything you'd like to donate. Definitely don't have to, but just wanted to include it here. And that is all. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Please let me know if you have any questions or any comments or concerns, and we will talk about all of them. I will talk to you guys at another time. Ooh, how do I stop it?